Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make an asteroid game. It looks something like this. So we can shoot asteroids and they get hit a bunch of times before they destroy it. And if we get hit by an asteroid, we die. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is download assets off Google Drive. So you'll find the link to this in the description. So I'm going to download it. Mouse over choose a sprite and click on, and over here on choose a costume I'm going to click upload costume. I'm going to go into asteroid assets and click on, so that is a little spaceship model there. Next I'm going to go to backdrops and import the background, and that's this cool little space background right here. I'm going to click on sprite 1 and rename this to Spaceship. Now let's start adding some code. I'm going to go to events, drag out when green flag clicked, middle of the screen, and show in case we are hidden. Then let's go to variables. I'm going to delete this my variable and make a new one called alive for all sprites. I'm going to make another variable called score and for all sprites. X for this sprite only, and Y for this sprite only. Now let's set alive to yes, set score to 10, set X to 0, and set Y to 0. Then I'm going to drag out forever loop, and we need to move the spaceship. So I'm going to drag out change X, go to operators and drag out this times block, and drag out the minus block. If change X by key D pressed minus key A pressed times 0.3. So this is easier than using if then to move the character. Then let's do the same thing for the Y. So I'm going to right click and duplicate this, and instead of X I'm going to set this to Y, and instead of D I'm going to change this to W, and instead of A I'm going to change this to S. And if I press the green flag and try to move, you can see it won't. So let's go to motion and drag out change X by 10, and I'm going to drag out X, the variable X, so it's change X by X, and change Y by 10, and drag out the Y variable. So you can see if we use the WASD keys, I can move around. Next, let's go to motion and drag out point towards mouse pointer and rotate 90 degrees. So we will point toward the mouse, and without this it would just, the wing would be pointing toward the mouse. We don't want that. The next thing we want to do is make the spaceship be able to go around the whole screen. So I'm going to go to control and drag out if then and the less than block, and go to motion and drag out the X position block. If X position is less than negative 240, then set X to 240, and I'm going to duplicate this. If Y position is less than negative 180, then set Y to 180, and if X position is more than 240, set X position to negative 240, and the same thing for the Y. So if Y position is more than 180, then set Y position to negative 180. So let me try this. So you can see if we go off the screen, we go to the other side. Okay, now let's make the spaceship be able to shoot. I'm going to mouse over choose a sprite and click on upload sprite. And I'm going to choose this laser. So let me go back to spaceship and hide all these variables so we can't see them. Okay, let's go to laser and make a new variable called parent and set for the sprite only. Then, when green flag is clicked, forever, and before this, set parent to yes, set size to 100, and hide. Then, if he's space pressed or mouse down, if alive is equal to yes, then we can shoot. So I'm going to drag out, go to spaceship, point in direction, direction of spaceship, turn backwards 90 degrees and move 20 steps, and then create clone of myself and wait 0.2 seconds. Now that we created the clone, let's make it be able to move. So I'm going to drag out when I start as a clone. We want to set parents to no. Show. Repeat 50. Change. Move 10 steps. And if we press the green flag, you can see we can shoot, but the laser is rotated the wrong way. So I'm going to go into costumes, select the laser, and rotate it by pressing shift. So you can see it's pointing the right way now. I also want the laser to be able to go around the screen like the spaceship. So I'm going to go into the spaceship sprite, right click and press duplicate, and drag this code into the laser sprite and put it inside of repeat 50. Last thing is at the end of repeat 50, we want to delete this clone. Next, let's make the asteroid we want to shoot. I'm going to go over choose a sprite, upload sprite, and select asteroids, and I'm going to click on asteroid 1. Then I'm going to go to costumes, press choose a costume, and press upload sprite, and I'm going to choose asteroid 2. So now we have 2 of these sprites. I'm going to rename this sprite. I'm going to rename this sprite to asteroid. And we want to start making clones of it. So when green flag clicked, set size to 100. And I'm going to make a new variable and call this health. And I'm going to set health to 0. Then I'm going to go and drag out a forever loop. Go to x negative 240 and y pick random from negative 180 to 180. So they spawn on this side of the screen. Then we want to create a clone of myself and wait, pick random from 5 to 8 seconds. When I start as a clone, show, and switch costume to pick random 1 to 2. So it'll either choose this one or this one. Then I'm going to go to variables and make a new variable for this sprite only called x, and y for this sprite only. Then I'm going to set x to pick random from -3 to 3, and set Y to pick random from -3 to 3. And I'm going to make a new variable again called rotation for this sprite only, and set rotation to pick random -3 to 3. I'm going to drag out a forever loop and drag out turn 15 degrees, change X by 10, and change Y by 10. I'm going to drag out the X and put it inside of change X by 10, and drag out the Y and put that inside of change Y by Y. And rotation also. So if I press the green flag, you can see it makes a clone, and if we wait a little bit, it will create another clone. But you can see if the asteroid goes off the screen, it doesn't appear on the other side. So I'm going to duplicate this code again and put it inside of the asteroid. So if you press the green flag, you watch this asteroid over here, and it appears on this side. And here goes another asteroid. And here goes another one. So now let's make the asteroid be able to destroy themselves. So now let's make the asteroids shootable. I'm going to go to control, drag out another one I started as a clone, and drag out a forever loop. If touching lasers, then we want to change score by 2 and change health by 2. Change health by 1. If health is more than 3, then delete this clone. And change size by -20. Repeat to create a clone of myself and delete this clone. So if we touch the laser, change size by -20 and make 2 clones of myself. But if the health is more than 3, delete the asteroid. And also broadcast a message, and new message. I'm going to call this asteroid hit, and I'm going to go into the laser. When I receive asteroid hit, if touching asteroid, then delete this clone, so the lasers won't be able to go through the asteroids. So now let me press play and shoot an asteroid. And you can see it creates little tiny asteroids when we shoot it. Now let's make the spaceship be able to be hit by the asteroids. I'm going to go to the spaceship sprite and drag out if touching asteroid, set alive to no, and broadcast explosion and wait. I'm going to upload a new sprite, and this is called. So when green flag clicked, go to 0, 0, hide. Then when I receive explosion, show, and go to front layer. So I'm going to press the green flag and get hit by an asteroid, and you can see this screen pops up. I'm going to upload a new sprite called overlay called scoreboard. And when the green flag is clicked, go to 0, 0 and show and go to front. So when I press the green flag, you can see this screen pops up right here. I'm going to go to variables and show the score variable, and if I double click on it, it will take away the text. So I'm going to put it right here under score. And right here on energy, we need a variable there. So I'm going to make a variable and call it energy. I'm going to double click on it and move it on this side. I'm going to click on the asteroid sprite, on the laser sprite, and make a new script. Wait 0.6 seconds. If energy is less than 10, and change energy by 1. And before we create a clone of myself, if energy is more than 0, then change energy by -1. So we won't be able to shoot forever. I'm going to set energy to 10. Next, let's make an explosion so we can see that when the player dies. So I'm going to upload a sprite, explosion 0001. I rename that to explosion. I'm going to go to costumes, upload costume, and I'm going to press shift, click on explosion 2, and click on explosion 9 to select all of them, and I'm going to press open. So it just imported all the explosion sprites. So I'm going to go into code, and when green flag clicks, we want to hide. But when I receive explosion, we want to go to Spaceship, switch costume to explosion 1, show, repeat 10, next costume, and wait 0.06 seconds, and hide, and wait 2 seconds. And I'm going to change this repeat 10 to repeat 8. So when I press the green flag and get hit by an asteroid, you can see that explosion plays. The last thing we want to do is make the game a little harder by reducing the score every second. So if the score gets less than 0, we die. I'm going to go into my death sprite, drag out forever. If alive is equal to yes, wait 1 second, and change score by -1. If score is less than 1, then broadcast explosion. So when I receive explosion, I'm just going to drag in the script stop other scripts in the sprite and put this at the top. So I'm going to press play and get hit by an asteroid and we die. And if I just let score drop down to 0, let's see what happens then. Okay, there we go. And it's still pointing toward the mouse when we die. So I'm going to go to death and set alive to no when the explosion. And I'm going to go to Spaceship, and if alive is equal to no, Then we want to hide. Okay, now let's add sound effects. So I'm going to go to sounds. I'm going to delete this pop sound and upload sound in sounds. This is called player death. And if touching asteroid, we want to play sounds player death. Let's go to the laser and go to sounds, upload sound, and I'm going to click on laser 1, shift and press laser 3 and press open. And these are just laser sounds. So when I start as a clone, start sound laser 3 and pick random 1 to 3. So it'll play one of these sounds. Then I'm going to click on asteroid, go to sounds, upload sound. I'm going to select all of these explosion sounds and press open. And when we get hit by a laser, start sound, pick a random 1 to 3. And we want to set the volume to size. So if the asteroids get smaller, so does the volume. So there goes the sound effects when we shoot the asteroids, and if we get hit, we can hear the explosion. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial.